Come on, come closer to the fire. Let the warmth touch your face. Tonight, we're not reading from a book. No. Tonight, we share an epoe, a story that's carried on the breath from one generation to the next, so it can walk with us.
See, this story, it comes from a time before. A time when Wallamapu, our world, was whole. A wide, unbroken land. This is the story of how that world was shattered. It's a story about balance and what happens when we, the people, forget our part in keeping it.
In that first stage, the age of balance, you had two great domains, two worlds, really, one on top of the other, and in each one a great spirit was sleeping, one of light and earth, and another of a deep, silent, endless dark.
Just picture it for a second. The world was perfectly divided. Up here, where we are, the earth held all the light, all the life, the slow-beating heart of the mountains. But beneath it all, another world was breathing. A cold, dark, starless ocean, ancient and waiting. And down there, in the deepest, most lightless part of that ocean, in what the old ones called the root of the sea, that's where Co-Cai slept, the great, ancient mother spirit of all the waters.
Now, when you think of her, don't think of some simple serpent. Oh, no. The elders say her head was huge, armored like a crocodile's. Her teeth were like black, jagged pieces of rock. And her body? Endless tentacles that gripped the very bottom of the sea, pulsing with this strange, living light. A light that would shift and change with her dreams, or her anger.
But the land had its own protector. Deep in the fiery, volcanic hearts of the mountains, Treng'tren was sleeping, a spirit of earth and fire, the great guardian of our world of light.
He wasn't just like a mountain, he was a walking mountain. Huge, on two legs, with skin like cooled lava, and along his back, these massive plates that looked just like a mountain range. They say when he walked, the world didn't just shake, it thundered.
So for ages, these two powerful spirits just slept, and the world was in perfect balance. Peace. But peace can be a fragile thing, and the people were about to break the sacred covenant. They just forgot. The songs of gratitude they sang to the rising sun, they stopped. They pulled fish from the sea, but offered no thanks. They filled the quiet shores with the clang and bang of iron tools. They took and took and took.
And you have to understand that noise, that disrespect, it didn't just disappear. Every careless shout, every thankless catch, every hammer strike, it all traveled down, down, down. It became this constant, annoying drumbeat, echoing into the silent, lightless deep where Co-Cai was sleeping.
And so, from all that noise, from all that pain that we sent down into her waters, Co-Cai woke up. And she woke up in agony. She woke up in a rage. Her awakening was pure violence. First, she sent her children, the Co-Cai, a horrible, chittering tide of sea creatures that swarmed out of the waves and just tore through the villages. And after them, the sea itself came, a great black wall of water that rose up to swallow the land whole. But the earth remembers its own. As the waters of Co-Cai poured over the land, something deep below began to stir. The land itself was preparing to answer. From deep inside the fiery heart of the world, Treng'tren felt the assault. And amidst thunder and fire, the ground itself split open, and he rose. The great protector was awake, and he was ready to meet the fury of the sea. And what a war it was. This was a battle of the world's fundamental forces. Co-Cai brought the crushing power of the deep ocean, her lashing tentacles, her swarms, the drowning flood. Treng'tren answered with the power of the land. He caused earthquakes that lifted the earth higher. He called up fire from the planet's very core. At the height of the battle, when Co-Cai had him wrapped in her tentacles trying to drag him down, Treng'tren unleashed everything he had. The plates on his back began to glow, and from his mouth shot a beam of pure heat, so intense it boiled the very ocean around him into steam. This fight wasn't over in an hour or a day. No. They fought for the turning of a full moon, an entire month where the world was ripped apart by the clash of these two immense, ancient spirits. And then, silence. When the steam finally cleared, when the earth stopped shaking, the war was over. But the world The world they were fighting over was gone. It was broken. And it had been remade into something new. Where there used to be wide green plains, now there were scattered islands. Where forests stood, now there were deep channels and twisting fjords. The very bones of Wamapu had been broken and rearranged by the fury of their war.
Treng'tren had won. He forced Co-Cai back down into the deepest trenches of the sea. And then, exhausted, he returned to his own volcanic slumber. The people who survived, well, they built new homes on the high ground on the new islands. But some who lived closest to the sea, they never forgot its power. They formed a secret cult to honor the terrible sleeping wrath in the deep.
And this right here, is why we tell the epu. It's not just a story. It is the breath of the world itself, told by the fire so that we never, ever forget. It's a living memory meant to walk with us, to guide us. Because the lesson of this epic is that the balance of our world is so fragile. It isn't kept by walls or weapons. It's kept by our songs, by our gratitude, and by always remembering and respecting the boundary between the water and the stone.
And that leaves us with a question, doesn't it? A question that echoes through all that time. Because Co-Cai is still down there, dreaming in the lightless deep, and Treng'tren is still sleeping beneath our mountains. So when people grow prideful again, when they forget, when they fill the sea with noise and take without thanks, will we remember how to call him?